Once a transaction has been identified as being a business combination, the proper accounting treatment can then be applied. The acquisition method is used to account for business combinations and requires all of the following steps. Firstly, identification of the acquirer. Secondly, determination of the acquisition date. Thirdly, recognition and measurement of the identifiable assets acquired and liabilities assumed. And lastly, recognition and measurement of goodwill. The acquirer is the entity that obtains control of the acquiree. In general, it is the party that directly or indirectly holds greater than 50% of the voting shares that has control. If the acquiree cannot be readily determined, other factors to consider include which party is transferring assets or equity interests or assuming liabilities, the relative voting rights in the combined entity, whether there is a significant minority interest in the absence of other significant voting interests, board representation, or representation on the executive team. An acquirer obtains control of the acquiree when it legally transfers the consideration and acquires the assets and assumes the liabilities of the acquiree. This typically occurs on the closing date, but that's not necessarily the case in all instances. It could, for example, occur earlier. Therefore, an acquirer must consider all relevant facts when identifying the acquisition date. Determination of the acquisition date is important because it's the date at which the acquirer will begin to consolidate the financial statements of the acquiree.